Well, let's talk about this because this weekend will mark, I don't know, maybe the 400th sit-down interview on 60 Minutes for the President Obama. It seems to be his go-to interview forum, right, is 60 Minutes, sitting down with Steve Kroft. In fact, there's a story out this morning showing that President Obama has preferred going and sitting down to Steve Kroft and 60 Minutes more than any other television format. Interview person out there. Steve Kroft has got the interviews.
Yeah.
Are you winding up?
Well, let me just say, the irony here is that 60 Minutes, which I think is a quality show and has put some good stuff on, but clearly withheld the news from an interview with President Obama back in September that turned out to be pivotal in a presidential debate, and I think had a bearing on this election. Basically, they interviewed President Obama on September 12th, the day after the Benghazi attacks, and the president said, I think I'm quoting, "It's too early to tell whether or not this was terror-related." Now, this became a real issue in the campaign, as you'll remember, when the president retroactively said, no, I always described it as a terror attack. 60 Minutes had that footage, and they did not air it. They did not air it at the time, and they did not air it when the debate broke out over when the president knew this was a terror attack. They withheld that from the public. I would say that's a direct violation of your duty as a journalist.
Maybe that's why they like going on there.
Maybe but President Obama has said that he likes the format of 60 Minutes, that he can give longer, nuanced answers rather than always up against a 3-minute break. But what they're doing tomorrow, Sunday night, is very interesting. They're sitting down with Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, and President Obama in their first and only joint interview. Why would they do that? Well, let's listen to their motivation for why they're doing this together.
Why did you want to do this together, a joint interview?
Well, the main thing is I just wanted to have a chance to publicly say thank you, because I think Hillary will go down as one of the finest Secretary of States we've had. It has been a great collaboration over the last 4 years. I'm going to miss her. Wish she was sticking around, but she has logged in so many miles I can't begrudge her wanting to take it easy for a little bit. But I want the country to appreciate just what an extraordinary role she's played during the course of my administration, and a lot of the successes we've had internationally have been because of her hard work.
A few years ago, it would have been seen as improbable because we had that very long, hard primary campaign. But, you know, I've gone around the world on behalf of the president and our country. And one of the things that I say to people, because I think it helps them understand, I say, look, in politics and in democracy, sometimes you win elections, sometimes you lose elections. And I worked very hard, but I lost. And then President Obama asked me to be Secretary of State, and I said yes. And why did he ask me, and why did I say yes? Because we both love our country.
You know, I tend to take people at face value, and I tend to give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I think that that's what we should do in general. So I have believed Hillary when she has said that she's not interested in running for president. Until right now.
Now, how would you feel if you're Vice President Biden?
I wonder.
No,
I mean,
well, especially this week when you've seen
an endorsement, right, of Hillary Clinton over the Vice President. It feels like that. It feels like an endorsement of the Secretary of State.
Sure, and then it also this week, how do you feel if you're the Vice President? You've seen all these polls that have come out this week that in a head-to-head matchup between Hillary Clinton and Vice President Biden, Hillary would win in a landslide. It's like, we're not running, we didn't say anything yet, and he's like, we just started our second term here.
But what's the point of this? I mean, from the perspective of CBS News, this is a show that has been on the air for, you know, approaching 50 years, and it's made its bones, its reputation, by really barbecuing people, by giving people a pretty tough time on air. Does the president, does the Secretary of State, do they need more exposure? I mean, we don't hear enough from them? I mean, what's the point of this?
No, that's a good question. And, you know, it's one that Bernie Goldberg raises because you think of 60 Minutes, I think of 60 Minutes as sort of investigative journalism. And you're getting stories that you probably wouldn't see anywhere else in 15-minute blocks. And here it seems just like well, we called this interview because I wanted to thank Hillary here. Here's what Bernie Goldberg has to say about the media specifically.
4 years ago, the so-called mainstream media fell in love with Barack Obama, and they've been slobbering over him ever since. Now we have Hillary Clinton, who is another potential historic figure. She could be the first woman president of the United States. And this week, after those hearings, the media began slobbering in earnest. And it will continue, and it will ratchet up when she announces that she's running for president of the United States. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it, because these people, these journalists, were born without the embarrassment gene. Nothing embarrasses them about how they behave.
All right, well, let us know what you would like to hear from the president. If you were sitting down in an interview, I tweeted that out. What question would you ask?
All right, coming up on the show, you're paying their way. So should people on welfare really be able to buy lottery tickets with that money? We report, you decide.
Then she just got done telling a live television audience how friendly they were when this happened.
Would you not eat my pants? Ah!
Wow, is that Joan Rivers?
That is just so awesome. Good morning, America. When goats attack. Coming up.
The perils of reporting in the field.
Wow, that's a shiny jacket.
I wanna be rich.